Because while I didn't walk away with any trophies or podiums or flowers or whatever, that to me that didn't matter so much because at least I knew I'm capable of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, then I came back and I just struggled to get out training a bit. And I thought, oh, maybe I'm just tired from quite an intense few weeks in Italy. And I decided to take a week off quite early. But then coming back after a week off, things just got worse and worse. And I was really struggling to get out of the door training. I thought something's really not right here. I was just, it was weird because I had such a high from coming back from Italy. And then I went to arguably one of the lowest points where I've never had it where I'm struggling to get out training. And I thought, if I'm really so unmotivated to get out training, then maybe I should just not do it. So then I had a bit of well, I say a bit of a wobble, it was a very big wobble where I was thinking, do I continue? Do I try and keep cycling or do I just sort of stop? Because if you lose all of that discipline and motivation to keep going, then it's so hard to get started again. You need something to sort of reignite your passion. So I decided I'd take time off, I'd think about what I'm going to do, and I'd see where I go from there. Because at that point, I seriously had to consider just throwing in the towel and giving it up. And this was sort of July, August time at this point. And I was looking back, I was thinking, what a waste, like all these years, and it just comes to nothing. But then I had a bit of a breakthrough because I was lucky enough to sort of talk to my dad about it. And yeah, I'm quite blessed to be that close with him
Right.
because it's not often you can talk like that to someone so close like your dad. And after talking to him, it made me realize how, in a way, it's just a rough patch. And I've been sort of so deprived of good news in cycling. It's always felt so negative and it's always felt like an uphill battle. But I just needed that sort of mental reset to get going again. So I had all of August off more or less. I went out a little bit, but it was just free ride. And then September, well, before September even, I was thinking that screw this. I can't be off the bike any longer. Like I need it because I've never felt before then. I'd never felt what it's really like to stop training. And at first, it was a bit of a relief almost. Weirdly,
Mm.
oh yeah, I haven't got to get up and think about where I'm going to train or how long I'm going to go out for. And I'll admit, I sort of liked it at first. It was quite nice to have that sort of lack of routine a bit, where I wouldn't have to get up, have breakfast, and get out the door. I could just sort of relax and have a little sort of late start to the day. But then after a while, I don't know, I couldn't stand it anymore. I was like, I need to get out on the bike. Like, there's no other way around it. And I tried sort of doing a few runs, but I was like, that's not cutting it. Like, I need to be back on a bike because there's nothing like that.
Mm.
And those first few rides of me being back on the bike in September was such a almost like a new feeling. Like I'd never felt that good to be out. And even though I'd probably lost all my fitness at this point, because I'd
Mm.
taken a month off, and before that month off, I was sort of trying to cut my training. I've never felt so good mentally to be on a bike and that sort of freedom of just going up and down the hills and through the countryside. It gave me a lot of flashbacks to when I first started, when I was 15, 16, and that feeling of just going out and having all that freedom. and mentally it just really unlocked a new side.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, it was quite this. That's why I say it's been a funny year this year, because going into it, I was probably the most hopeful I've ever been. But then halfway into it, I had a sort of crisis point where I was like, am I just giving up now, or am I going to fight through it? And now I'm at the point where I've got new people around me who have sort of given me that breath of fresh air and that new invigoration that I really need.
Mm.
Um, and it's really making me look hopeful towards next year, because maybe 6 weeks ago, if you asked me what my plans are, I would say I haven't got a clue. Like whatever you say in my plans, maybe. Um, but now having had that reset mentally and also physically, probably, it's given me such a new feeling and something I'm really excited to take into winter and next year.
Yeah.